Seniors, pause for a moment and listen carefully. There are about 298 different types of grains worldwide, yet most people over 60 eat the same few every single day without realizing how differently an aging body responds to them. After 60, digestion slows, insulin response weakens, and low-grade inflammation rises. That means some grains that once felt harmless can now spike blood sugar, drain minerals, irritate joints, and quietly accelerate muscle loss. At the same time, a small group of overlooked grains can do the opposite. They digest slowly, steady blood sugar, support muscle strength, and protect the heart. What shocked researchers was not just the effect, but how hidden it is. Many of the most problematic grains are labeled whole or heart-friendly and appear in breads, cereals, and side dishes seniors eat daily. Meanwhile, protective grains keep showing up in long-living populations where people stay mobile and sharp well into old age. When scientists compared grain intake in adults over 60, the contrast was clear. Swap the wrong grains for the right ones and energy improves. Joints feel calmer, walking feels steadier, and blood sugar becomes easier to manage. Among all 298 grains studied worldwide, one grain stood far above the rest, delivering combined benefits for muscles, blood sugar, and heart health that surprised researchers enough to repeat the analysis. In this video, we will reveal 4 dangerous grains you should never touch after 60 and 4 grains you must eat daily, ranked from least to most important. And stick around because number 2 can dramatically protect aging muscles and blood sugar according to multiple studies. All sources used to prepare this video are linked for you in the description so you can review them anytime. But before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you and where are you watching from today? We're reading and replying to every single comment, and your answer may help another senior make a smarter food choice. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 4 in the never touch list, a grain many seniors eat daily that quietly causes problems most people never connect to their meals. Number 4. Instant oatmeal packets. Starting with our 4th most dangerous grain, instant oatmeal packets might seem like a healthy breakfast choice, but the processing these oats undergo strips away their natural fiber structure and adds hidden sugars that spike your blood glucose faster than a donut. When oats get steam-rolled and pre-cooked for instant preparation, their cellular structure breaks down completely, transforming a naturally slow-digesting grain into a rapid-release carbohydrate that floods your system with glucose within minutes of eating. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that instant oatmeal has a glycemic index of 83, compared to just 55 for steel-cut oats, meaning it causes blood sugar spikes that damage blood vessels and accelerate cellular aging in ways that particularly affect people over 60. The flavored varieties are even worse, often containing up to 12 grams of added sugar per packet, along with artificial flavors and preservatives that trigger inflammatory responses in your gut, where 70% of your immune system resides. What makes this especially problematic for seniors is that these blood sugar roller coasters interfere with your body's natural cortisol rhythm, disrupting sleep patterns and increasing anxiety levels that many older adults already struggle with. The processing also destroys beta-glucan, the soluble fiber that makes oats heart healthy in the first place, leaving you with empty calories that provide none of the cholesterol-lowering benefits that real oats offer. If you want oatmeal's benefits, stick to steel-cut or old-fashioned rolled oats that take longer to cook but preserve the grain's natural structure and nutrients, cooking them with cinnamon and nuts to further slow glucose absorption. But the next grain might shock you even more because it's hiding in almost everything you eat. Number 3. Wheat flour. Modern wheat flour has become so genetically modified and heavily processed that gastroenterologists are now calling it one of the primary triggers for leaky gut syndrome in people over 60, causing everything from joint pain to brain fog that you might be blaming on normal aging. The wheat grown today contains 42 chromosomes compared to the 14 chromosomes in ancient wheat, creating new proteins like gliadin that your digestive system literally doesn't recognize, triggering an immune response that creates inflammation throughout your entire body. Scientists at the Cleveland Clinic discovered that modern wheat contains N-olopectin A, a superstarch that raises blood sugar higher than table sugar and creates advanced glycation end products or AGEs, which are compounds that accelerate aging by damaging proteins in your skin, joints, and organs. For people over 60, whose digestive enzymes naturally decline with age, breaking down modern wheat becomes even harder, leading to bloating, gas, and nutrient malabsorption that can worsen osteoporosis and muscle loss. The glyphosate pesticide residues found in 90% of conventional wheat products add another layer of damage, disrupting your gut microbiome and potentially contributing to everything from depression to autoimmune conditions that become more common with age. Studies from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry show that eliminating modern wheat for just 8 weeks reduced inflammatory markers by 45% in seniors, while also improving energy levels and reducing joint stiffness that many people mistakenly accept as inevitable. The bleaching process used to make white flour strips away magnesium, vitamin E, and B vitamins that your aging brain desperately needs, replacing them with synthetic vitamins that your body can't absorb as effectively. If you must have wheat products, look for organic, sprouted grain, or ancient wheat varieties like incorn or emmer that your body can actually recognize and digest properly. But even better would be to replace wheat entirely with the beneficial grains we'll discuss shortly. The number 2 dangerous grain is even more shocking because it's marketed specifically to health-conscious seniors. Before we continue, take a second to like this video and subscribe. There's even bigger insight right after this. Number 2. White rice. White rice might seem like a gentle, easy-to-digest food perfect for sensitive senior stomachs, but it's essentially sugar in disguise that sends your blood glucose soaring faster than candy and triggers a cascade of aging processes throughout your body. When rice gets stripped of its bran and germ during processing, it loses 90% of its vitamin B, 80% of its vitamin B1, 67% of its vitamin B3, 60% of its iron, and almost all of its dietary fiber, leaving behind nothing but empty carbohydrates that convert to glucose within minutes of eating. Research from the British Medical Journal analyzing over 350,000 people found that each serving of white rice increased type 2 diabetes risk by 11%, and for seniors already dealing with slower metabolism, this effect gets magnified even more dramatically. The glycemic index of white rice sits at 73, which is higher than table sugar at 65, meaning it causes more severe blood sugar spikes that damage blood vessels, accelerate aging, and increase inflammation throughout your body in ways that particularly affect your brain and cardiovascular system. What makes this especially dangerous for people over 60 is that your pancreas naturally produces less insulin as you age, making it harder to manage these glucose spikes, which explains why the American Diabetes Association specifically warns seniors about white rice consumption. The processing removes all the protective compounds like gamma-oryzanol and tocotrienols that actually help regulate blood sugar and protect against heart disease, leaving you with a grain that actively works against your body's natural healing processes. Studies from Japan, where white rice is a staple, show that seniors who switched from white to brown rice experienced a 16% reduction in cardiovascular disease risk and significant improvements in cognitive function within just 3 months. The arsenic levels in white rice are also concerning for seniors, as it contains up to 80% more inorganic arsenic than brown rice because the processing concentrates toxins in the remaining white kernel, potentially contributing to bladder cancer and heart disease risks that increase with age. Now prepare yourself for the most dangerous grain of all. Number 1. Corn. Corn products including cornmeal, corn flour, and especially corn-based cereals represent the most dangerous grain for people over 60 because they combine sky-high sugar content with inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids and almost zero nutritional value, creating what researchers call the perfect storm for accelerated aging. Modern corn is so genetically modified that it contains 90% more starch and 60% less protein than the corn our ancestors ate, essentially turning it into a vehicle for delivering massive amounts of sugar directly into your bloodstream while triggering inflammatory responses that affect every system in your body. The University of California discovered that corn products have the highest levels of aflatoxin contamination among all grains, a toxic compound produced by mold that accumulates in your liver over time and significantly increases cancer risk, especially in people over 60 whose detoxification systems are already compromised. Corn syrup and corn derivatives hide in 75% of processed foods under names like dextrose, maltodextrin, and cornstarch, meaning you're probably consuming far more corn than you realize, each serving adding to the inflammatory burden that manifests as joint pain, digestive issues, and cognitive decline. The omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in corn is 46:1. When ideally it should be 4:1 or less, creating massive inflammation that researchers at Harvard Medical School now link directly to accelerated cellular aging, increased risk of Alzheimer's, and shortened telomeres, which are the protective caps on your DNA that determine how fast you age. For seniors, corn's high phosphorus content interferes with calcium absorption, potentially worsening osteoporosis, while its lack of essential amino acids means it actually depletes your body of nutrients as it tries to process this nutritionally bankrupt grain. Corn also feeds harmful gut bacteria while starving beneficial ones, disrupting your microbiome in ways that affect everything from your immune system to your mood, with studies showing that eliminating corn products can reduce depression symptoms by 35% in older adults. The pesticide load on conventional corn is the highest of any grain, with glyphosate residues found in 88% of corn products tested, contributing to liver damage, hormone disruption, and increased cancer risk that compounds with age. Now let's move to the grains you can actually eat daily to support healthy aging. These grains help stabilize blood sugar, protect muscle strength, and give your body steady energy instead of spikes and crashes. This is where aging starts to feel more manageable. Number 4. Quinoa. Quinoa stands out as the first beneficial grain you should add to your daily diet because it's the only plant-based complete protein containing all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to maintain muscle mass after 60, when you're losing up to 8% of your muscle every decade. This ancient grain from South America provides 8 grams of protein per cooked cup along with lysine, an amino acid that most grains lack completely, and that your body desperately needs for calcium absorption, collagen production, and tissue repair that becomes increasingly critical as you age. Harvard researchers found that quinoa's unique combination of protein and fiber creates a sustained energy release that lasts up to 6 hours, preventing the blood sugar crashes that leave many seniors feeling exhausted by mid-afternoon. The magnesium content in quinoa is extraordinary at 118 milligrams per cup, which is crucial because magnesium deficiency affects 70% of people over 60 and contributes to everything from irregular heartbeat to muscle cramps to poor sleep quality that ruins your next day. Quinoa contains powerful antioxidants called flavonoids, particularly quercetin and camphorol, which studies show are even more concentrated in quinoa than in cranberries, fighting inflammation at the cellular level and protecting your brain from age-related decline. To prepare quinoa properly and maximize its benefits, always rinse it thoroughly under cold water to remove the bitter saponins coating. Then cook it in bone broth instead of water using a 1:1.75 ratio, adding turmeric and black pepper, which increases nutrient absorption by 2,000% according to research from St. John's Medical College. The sprouted version of quinoa is even better if you can find it, as sprouting increases vitamin C content by 130% and makes the protein even more bioavailable, meaning your aging digestive system can actually use it rather than just passing it through. You can batch cook quinoa on Sunday and use it throughout the week in salads, soups, or as a rice replacement, but always add a source of vitamin C like lemon juice or bell peppers, which doubles iron absorption from the grain. The third beneficial grain takes things to another level entirely. Number 3. Buckwheat. Buckwheat might sound like wheat, but it's actually not a grain at all. Rather a seed that acts like a grain while providing unique compounds that specifically target the health challenges people over 60 face most, from poor circulation to high blood pressure to varicose veins. This powerhouse contains rutin, a bioflavonoid that strengthens blood vessel walls and improves circulation so effectively that European doctors actually prescribe buckwheat-based supplements for treating venous insufficiency and hemorrhoids in elderly patients. Research from the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that buckwheat is the only grain-like food that contains chiroinositol, a compound that makes your cells more sensitive to insulin, essentially reversing the insulin resistance that develops with age and makes weight loss nearly impossible after 60. The resistant starch in buckwheat feeds beneficial gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, which reduce inflammation throughout your body and have been shown to improve memory and cognitive function by up to 23% in adults over 65, according to a study from the University of Reading. Buckwheat provides more antioxidants than any other grain alternative, with levels comparable to those found in dark chocolate, protecting your cells from oxidative damage that accelerates aging and contributes to everything from wrinkles to cancer. To prepare buckwheat for maximum benefits, soak the groats overnight in water with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, which neutralizes enzyme inhibitors and increases mineral absorption by up to 50%. Then rinse and cook with a 2-to-1 water ratio, adding a pinch of sea salt which enhances the nutty flavor. You can also try buckwheat flour for pancakes or soba noodles, which are 100% buckwheat in authentic versions, providing a versatile way to incorporate this healing seed into your diet without feeling like you're eating health food. The magnesium and tryptophan in buckwheat work together to improve sleep quality, with studies showing that eating buckwheat at dinner helps seniors fall asleep 40% faster and experience fewer nighttime awakenings. Get ready for grain number 2 because it's been hiding in plain sight all along. Number 2. Amaranth. Amaranth was considered so powerful by the Aztecs that Spanish conquistadors banned its cultivation. But modern science has revealed this ancient grain contains more protein than any other grain at 9 grams per cup, plus unique peptides that actually lower blood pressure as effectively as ACE inhibitor medications. This tiny grain packs more calcium than milk with 116 milligrams per cup, making it essential for people over 60 who need to maintain bone density but might be lactose intolerant or avoiding dairy. Plus, it contains vitamin K, which directs calcium to your bones instead of your arteries where it causes problems. Stanford University researchers discovered that amaranth contains squalene, a compound that reduces cholesterol production in your liver while simultaneously boosting oxygen delivery to your cells, essentially giving you more energy while protecting your heart at the same time. The lysine content in amaranth is 5 times higher than most grains, critical for seniors because lysine helps prevent the muscle wasting that accelerates after 60 and supports the production of carnitine, which helps convert fatty acids into energy your cells can actually use. Amaranth is the only grain that contains vitamin C naturally, providing antioxidant protection while enhancing iron absorption, and its unique combination of fiber and phytosterols has been shown to reduce LDL cholesterol by up to 22% in just 6 weeks, according to research published in the International Journal of Food Sciences. To unlock amaranth's full potential, toast it lightly in a dry pan before cooking to enhance its nutty flavor and improve digestibility. Then cook using a 1-to-2.5 ratio of grain to liquid, preferably using half water and half coconut milk, which adds medium-chain triglycerides that boost brain function and provide instant energy. You can pop amaranth like popcorn for a crunchy snack that's infinitely healthier than conventional snacks, or grind it into flour for gluten-free baking that actually adds nutrition instead of empty calories to your baked goods. The iron in amaranth is particularly bioavailable, meaning your body can actually absorb and use it, crucial for preventing the anemia that affects 40% of people over 65 and leaves them feeling constantly exhausted. But nothing compares to our number 1 grain that could literally save your life. Number 1. Black rice. Black rice, also known as forbidden rice because Chinese emperors reserved it exclusively for royalty, contains more anthocyanins than blueberries, the same powerful antioxidants that make berries so healthy, but with the sustained energy of a whole grain that keeps you satisfied for hours instead of minutes. The Okinawa Centenarian Study, which followed the world's longest-lived people for decades, found that those who ate black rice daily had 43% lower rates of heart disease, 38% lower cancer rates, and maintain cognitive function well into their 90s compared to those who ate white rice. This remarkable grain contains 23 different antioxidants, including anthocyanins that cross the blood-brain barrier to protect neurons from damage, vitamin E that prevents cellular aging, and zeaxanthin that protects your eyes from macular degeneration, the leading cause of blindness in people over 60. Research from Louisiana State University showed that just one spoonful of black rice bran contains more health-promoting anthocyanins than a spoonful of blueberries, but with less sugar and more fiber, making it the most antioxidant-rich food you can eat that also provides sustained energy and complete nutrition. The fiber in black rice is particularly special because it's mostly soluble fiber that forms a gel in your digestive system, slowing glucose absorption so effectively that diabetics who switch from white to black rice can reduce their medication needs by up to 40% according to research from the Chinese Academy of Sciences. Black rice provides 18 different amino acids, including all essential ones, making it nearly a complete protein while also containing iron that's twice as bioavailable as the iron in spinach, meaning your body can actually use it to combat the fatigue that plagues so many seniors. To prepare black rice for maximum benefit, soak it overnight in water with a teaspoon of raw apple cider vinegar, which breaks down phytic acid and increases mineral absorption by 60%. Then cook it using a 1:2 ratio with bone broth instead of water, adding ginger and turmeric, which amplify its anti-inflammatory effects by up to 300% according to Japanese research. The unique combination of antioxidants in black rice actually repairs DNA damage that accumulates with age, with studies showing that people who eat black rice 5 times per week have telomeres that are biologically 7 years younger than their chronological age, essentially reversing aging at the cellular level. You can use black rice in place of any other rice, but it's especially delicious in Buddha bowls with roasted vegetables, in rice pudding made with coconut milk for a dessert that's actually healthy, or ground into flour for antioxidant-rich pancakes that stabilize blood sugar instead of spiking it. Making these grain swaps isn't just about avoiding the bad and choosing the good. It's about fundamentally changing how your body ages from the inside out, giving yourself the energy, mental clarity, and disease protection that most people think is impossible after 60. Start by eliminating one dangerous grain per week while adding one beneficial grain, allowing your taste buds and digestive system to adjust gradually. And within just 8 weeks, you'll feel like you've turned back the clock by a decade or more. If this video opened your eyes to the truth about grains and aging, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next video on the 5 supplements that are actually aging you faster. See you next time. Thanks for watching.